My wife lied about having a miscarriage and instead had an abortion. I don't know what to do. No. My wife and I have been married for 3 years, and for the past year we have been trying for a child. We both wanted to have children, and after we got married we decided to first buy a house and get things in order financially before having children. Last year we both mutually agreed that we were in the right place to try for a child. In fact, it was my wife who put the idea forward. A little over 8 months ago my wife found out she was 6 weeks pregnant with our first child. I was elated. I had always wanted to be a father, and it seemed like something I never thought was possible was coming true. My wife and I began buying parenting books, planning a nursery, just doing all the stuff first-time parents do. I had never been happier at this moment. Several weeks later, I had to fly out of the country for a work conference. I was gone for about 8 days. Whilst I was abroad, my wife called. She was crying and told me she had a miscarriage. She was 18 weeks pregnant at this point. I flew back home immediately and told work that I had a family emergency. I was devastated with the news, but I never properly mourned as I felt I had to be emotionally strong for my wife who was a wreck. This was a tough period for both of us, but I thought we had come out stronger as a couple. I knew I had to give my wife some time and space before we could approach the subject again, especially with this being, what I thought, her first miscarriage. However, a week ago, a friend of my wife's called and told me she had something important to tell me. Apparently my wife had scheduled an abortion, whilst I was away at a conference. My wife's reasoning being that she wasn't ready to be a parent. My wife also said didn't want me to know about the abortion because I was so excited to be a parent and she didn't want to hurt me. At first I didn't believe this to be true, but after confronting my wife she told me that yes, she had in fact aborted our child. I'm in shock right now. I'm hurt, angry and upset. I just don't understand why she didn't just speak to me about it. Maybe we could have talked this through, but right now I'm so mad that she went behind my back and led me to believe she lost our child. I understand that my wife is the one carrying the child, and at the end has the right to make any decision she wants, but why lie about the whole situation? I don't know whether to carry on with the relationship or not. I love my wife, but this is a huge betrayal to me, and I can't even look at her right now. She's currently crying and begging me to forgive her. I've just gone down to the spare bedroom and locked myself inside. Please someone just tell me what to do. Edit, I did not expect this post to blow up like this. My emotions are all over the place and I'm a mess right now, but once everything is sorted I will try and update you on the situation. Thank you for your support. Update. First of all, thank you to those of you who left kind comments and messages. I tried to read as many as I could, but there were a lot. I did not expect the post to blow up the way it did. I mainly made it as a way to vent. I just had to tell someone what I discovered, and who better to tell than random internet strangers. Before I get into the whole thing, I would like to clarify a few points. My wife and I are not from the USA, and where we live, not staying for obvious reasons, an abortion can be carried out up to 24 weeks of pregnancy. I don't want this post to be too long, so I will sum this whole mess up. Many suggested that my wife was having an affair and my thoughts were heading towards that direction. However, that is not the case. Once I gathered my thoughts together, I finally got some proper answers from my wife. Around 12-13 weeks of pregnancy my wife had several screenings and diagnostic tests done, CVS, and it came back that our child had Down syndrome. One thing we stupidly avoided was talking about the chance if our child had Down syndrome or any other genetic abnormality. Some backstory is that I have an uncle who also has Down syndrome. Whilst there are certain setbacks he has faced, he is independent and lives a relatively normal life. Growing up, whenever I was with him I witnessed the verbal abuse and hate he got for something beyond his control. Yet he managed to disregard the hate and lives an incredible life. He also advocates on behalf of others with DS, especially in regards that they can have fulfilling lives. Anyways, I also share the same thoughts as my uncle and believe that a child with DS is not worth less than a normal baby. My wife did not exactly share the same sentiment. As much as she wanted a baby, her words were that she did not want to have a disabled child that wouldn't have the same quality of life as a normal child. She decided to have an abortion as she felt it was the best decision for her, as she ultimately did not want to raise a DS child. She told me she lied about the abortion and said it was a miscarriage because she knew how hurt I would feel if I knew the truth, and due to her own guilt she felt. She also thought it would be easier for me to move on and try for another child. She said she truly was devastated after her procedure because she was mourning the loss of her child. I'm still severely hurt and betrayed by the fact that she lied to me, and I'm not sure where our relationship currently stands. I'm currently staying with my parents as I need some space. I'm planning on seeing a therapist before I make a final decision on our relationship. My thoughts are a mess and I just feel so depressed. I lost so much and my heart just feels empty.